Okay, children, here we are going to study refraction through the glass slab. So I'll show you a glass slab. This is a glass slab. You can see it. It's a rectangular transparent material made up of glass. So I want to see refraction means change in the direction of path of light. So we should know practically what is happening actually. I don't want to display it on the board that what is happening, but let us see what is happening. There must be some little bit of shine of the tube light, but you don't have to worry. You have seen this glass slab as such. I'm just hiding it from the from the reflection. So this is a glass slab. So I put it here and I make an outline of this. So what I do is I will make an outline of this glass slab. I'll use a sketch pen for your benefit so that you will be able to see it properly. So I'm using a sketch pen here. So I made this I made this rectangle outline of this glass slab. Then I will take an angle, I'll take an angle and I'll tilt a ray coming to it. Now this ray means it's coming on the glass slab. Now if I place anything over here, so the ray will directly come to the glass slab through that object, through those objects. So I'll place in two pins over here, two nice little pins I am going to place over here. So I have to press it a little harder so that it stands. Then I'll place another pin on the same material. I will try to place in. Now my work will be tough because now I'll put the glass slab over here very carefully, and from this side I'll try to place a pin that is in line with those two pins, but the rays when are crossing through the glass slab, so that means I'll see through the glass slab, and I will place two pins just in line of these two pins. So I have placed one, so I have to place it one from the top. For you it may be looking a little little different, might be different, might be a little deviated, but for me it is in a straight line. So I put the fourth pin in so that all four pins are in line, and so I get another point over here. So I pull the chair a little bit towards me and then I place this pin, these two pins. So I've got these two pins over here. I've got a point over here. Let us see once more. I'll try. This pin is a little blunt. Once more, let me try this. So here I put one more pin so that all the four pins are in line, and let me see. So I press it a little harder so that it will make a point I think so. I've changed the pin over here. It's not very sharp, it's blunt. So I take another pin and try. So now all these four pins are in line. So I mark the points over here, and then I remove this and I make the scale line over here with the two pins. All right, with the two pins I make a scale line over here like this. I am joining these 2 points, and I am removing this also. Now just see the fun what has happened. I removed this. Now see what has happened. The light ray was incident from this place like this, and it got out through the pins. They reflected the light ray towards the glass. So now this has come this way. So if I join this inside the glass, so what has taken place? The bending of light ray has taken place, and this is called refraction. This is called a refraction. It's a very, very important thing. That is the change in the direction of path of light is called refraction. So now I'll try to place the normal over here. So this is the incident ray. This is the normal. So this is known as the angle of incidence. This is the angle of refraction, and this is the refracted ray. and this is the emergent ray. So there are few things to understand. Now these two lines are parallel, so this angle R and here these two angles will have the same value. If I call it R1, this is say for example R2, and this is angle of emergence. So angle of emergence I will be always equal to E. Also remember, if I extend this incident ray, if I produce, there is a very unique thing happening. Very unique thing happening. If I extend it through dotted line, the very unique thing is happening. There will be the emergent ray and the incident ray produced will be parallel, and the distance between them is called lateral displacement.